Okay, now we're on to the back of this pocket tag, or this pocket page, sorry. We're going to be making this pocket right here, and let's get started on that. This piece of cardstock is 4 inches by 6 inches. I want you to put it on your score pal or your score buddy or whatever you use to score with. You're going to score it a 1/2 inch, a 1/2 inch, flip it one direction, and then you just need to score one end at a 1/2 inch. Okay. Now we're going to do the same thing on the corners that we did with the other one. Okay, we're not going to cut it square, we're just going to angle it just a little bit, just so it closes properly. Can you see that? It's not really square. Okay, we're going to do the same thing on this corner. And there we go. Now we're ready to score. Or fold, I'm sorry, we're going to fold now. Make sure you got a real good crease. Okay, now we're ready to take our original pocket. We're going to flip it so that the binding is on the right hand side. We're going to run our short sides first. As I said before, I really like to have that adhesive to hold the bottom piece in place. Okay. Like so. And then I run my bottom adhesive. Okay. Now we're just going to line this up on the corners. And there we have our pocket. Okay, our next step is to get the decorative paper on it and to get our little punches done here, and then we'll get our tag made for the inside. I'll be back in a minute to do that part. Okay, before we go on to the tags for the inside of the large pocket, I wanted to show you the paper I chose for my Checking It Twice mini album. This is called the Holiday Collection, The Christmas Stack. It's by Die Cuts with a View, and I think it's a year or two old. I live 110 miles from the closest craft store, so I have a tendency to stock up on things when I do get to town. This just had some wonderful papers in it. It starts with winter blues, and then it goes into the Christmas colors, and as you can see, it's quite a collection. I'm kind of flipping through it fast, I know, but so if you can't find this at Joann's, that's probably why, because it's not brand new. So let me show you the papers I chose. The cardstock I'm using is called Cherry Cobbler from Stampin' Up. It's one of their new colors, and I just absolutely love it. It's a real dark Christmas red. So I kind of chose colors to go with this. And the other color I'm using is Handsome Hunter, I believe it's called. It's a Stampin' Up color. I don't even know if it's still available, but like I said, I stock up on things, so I've got quite a stack of cardstock that I can use up. So these are the colors I chose for mine. You could use any colors you wanted. And let's get started on the tags now. Okay, the tags for this set are pretty simple. This is my finished page. This is just plain green cardstock, and this is 4 5/8 by 5 3/4. Okay, so I've cut another one the same size, and what I did was I used my Martha Stewart snowman punch. I got this on sale at Michael's a while back, and I just punched out 2 snowmen. And then I put them back to back. You kind of have to make sure you line them up right, because they're just kiltered a little bit, so they won't line up perfect. I glued the very top of them, and then I slipped them down over top of the cardstock. If I can do that. And then glued each end into place, and that gave me my little tag. I just kind of measured halfway, and there's your tag for that. Okay, now let's move on to the decorative paper on this envelope, or this pocket. The decorative paper for this, the front, what I did is I just brought it in about 1/8 of an inch You can either cut it the same size of the pocket cardstock, or you can cut it smaller. This dimension is 4 11/16 by 5 11/16. Okay? This part does not go all the way through. It's just barely in there. And this piece is 3.5 inches by 4 11/16. And as you can see, that just gave me an edge. Okay, so let's go ahead and adhere the two pieces I've chosen. This is the piece I chose for the front. So let's go ahead and get that stuck down. And I am sorry you have white on white with the back of this paper, but I'll get it flipped over as quick as I can. Okay, and then I just adhered it. I think I want my snowflakes at the top. And there you have it. And then this is the large oval punch from Stampin' Up. Sorry for the reflection off the top. And these punches are really nice because they've got a halfway mark on each side. And all I did was put the small part into the pocket, and I just kind of guesstimated the center. As you can see, you can line it up on both sides. Okay, once I have that, then I can actually go in, flip it over, and see my other half. I know that seems like the hard way to do it, but I just found that's easier for me. Okay? And see, I didn't get that perfect, so we're going to repunch that so it's more oval. There we go. Okay, now let's adhere. Let's go ahead and punch the edge on this one. Same thing. Line your punch up left and right. And I just kind of center it. And there you have it. Now this piece here will go right here. Okay, I probably should have waited to punch that, so now I'm going to have to punch it again. So you can see my... Let's go ahead and get that adhered. Sorry I'm off camera a little bit. I'm pretty new at this camera thing. And my husband is literally standing over top of me holding my camera. He's my videographer today. And he's just been so patient with me. And by the way, he calls my ATG gun my all-terrain gun, just so you know. That's his name for my ATG gun. Now we can punch this. There we go. And there's your decoration for those two pages. Now you just put your tag inside here. And all that's left is to make the little booklet to fit in here. And we'll do that in just a minute. Before we get to the little mini books, I realized after making 3 of my pocket pages and 3 of the mini books how thick this was going to end up being, this whole mini album. So I opted to make tags for 3 of the pages. These are really simple. They're just 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. The decorative paper is 3 by 4. And then I just used the different types of pulls. This is just the gold braid, and then this is a Stampin' Up punch. And it just eliminated some of the bulk in my mini album. So 3 of my pages have the little mini books in them, and then 3 of my pages will have tags in them. Okay, the next thing we're going to do for our little pocket page is the little insert booklet. And I've gotten rid of the white paper. This is usually what I work on. This is an old Cricut mat with a crack in it that you can see I've taped. And there's glue everywhere, but this might be easier for you to see against with this white paper. This piece of cardstock is 4 1/4 by 6 inches. I just scored it at 3 inches and folded it in half. And then the paper is 4 inches by 5 1/2. If you take an 8 1/2 by 11 piece of paper and cut it in half lengthwise and then trim each half down to 4 inches, you will have the right size paper for this little booklet. And it just fits right in there. Now what I did is I came in about 3/4 of an inch from my outside, and I used my small hole on my Crop-A-Dile and cut a hole, and I just punched through all layers at once. Now what I did is I split this fold with my hole, as you can see. Okay, It just makes it fold a little bit better. And I just tied everything up with a gold ribbon. Gold cord, and that fits right in there. I hope you enjoyed my very first instructional video on Jen's Creation Station. There'll be many more to come. I thought I'd show you my finished album. For the binding, I used a 1 1/4 inch O-wire for my bind it all, and then I used cranberry grosgrain ribbon and some fancy gold ribbon just for decorations, and these are loose enough so that they'll slide around when I open my album. On the front cover, I used a piece of red cherry cobbler cardstock. It's the same cardstock I used on the inside. And then the other day I ended up getting a new Christmas stack of paper from Die Cuts with a View, so I found something there that I liked. And I put it all on pop dots, and I used 4 little brads on the front. Now let me show you the inside. Each page is just slightly different with different paper. I love snowmen, so of course I had to have a snowman on my cover. This is on the bottom piece of decorative paper. I use stickles on all my pages for just a little bit of glitter. 3 of the pages have the books, 3 of the pages have the little tags. You see my completed pages. And there's my completed album. Thanks for stopping by Jen's Creation Station today.